Hello and welcome to the Tech on Toast podcast. My name's Chris Fletcher and I'm your host. Tech on Toast exists to connect hospitality to technology. Search for your best problem-solving tech on our marketplace, listen to both operators and tech experts on our podcast, or just meet up with the brilliant people who are helping innovate the hospitality industry as we enter a new era. Welcome to Tech on Toast. The Tech on Toast podcast is brought to you today by Point One. Point One offers the complete EPOS system for your hospitality business. From mobile order and pay and self-serve kiosks to restaurant and kitchen management, Point One has the solution. Head over to their website today to find out more and get in touch with their experienced team. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the next episode of the Tech on Toast podcast, and this week we're very happy to be joined by Mason Potter, co-founder of Grateful. Mason, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Are you down in London for it? Because you're not based down here, are you? Are you on a trip?
No, we're based in Leeds, but I'm down here for the day, so got a couple of meetings and then on the train back up tonight.
I went to Leeds Uni back in the day.
Yeah.
When I say back in the day, like a long time ago. Whereabouts in Leeds are you based?
I live in Harrogate, but the office is in Leeds, central Leeds.
You're a posh one, you see. Harrogate is the posh side, isn't it? And tell us a little bit about you. How have you ended up in this game? How have you ended up in this studio talking to me? Because is your background in hospitality or not?
It's tech, so tech sales.
Okay.
Obviously we've gained experience in hospitality through Grateful.
Yeah.
But the business essentially came about. Myself and my partner were sat in a restaurant in Harrogate.
Right. Okay.
Didn't have any cash. Wanted to tip the lady who had been, by the way, fantastic.
Yeah.
Had a bit of an issue with the mains, but she was really attentive, smiley, helpful.
Yeah.
She'd then gone off shift when we wanted to pay. I mean, we both used Monzo, we're both cashless. And the idea came from there, and then it snowballed from where it was with QR codes to now.
Wow. And how long has it been going? How long has Grateful been going? So
the company was started January 22.
Right, okay.
The idea was thought of just prior to that.
Yeah.
And then we've been live for about, I'd probably say 12 months.
You're still babies.
Yeah.
Still babies.
When you.
Yeah, you are. And tell me a bit about the product. So the product obviously is it's digital tipping, but there's a lot more to it than that, I presume.
Yeah.
So let me dumb it down. So tell me a little bit how you can help hospitality and how you can help these boys and girls on the floor.
So we've got a number of different products, and I think where we like to pitch ourselves is we've got the right tipping solution for you as a business.
Right.
We don't just operate in hospitality, we operate in hair and beauty, tourism and leisure, loads of other industries. Essentially, where you're getting tips, we can help. But our main industry is, in fact, hospitality. So we've got, the basic QR code product, and that's suitable for an individual, a team of individuals. That's typically implemented in a wet-led venue, in a hotel for room service, concierge, individuals, buskers, hair salons.
I see the buskers a lot here. I keep thinking you digital tipping in your life.
Yeah. Well, it's hard, isn't it? I feel sorry for them when I'm walking down the tube or walking along the street. They're busting away a good song, and you don't have any cash to give them. And you also look in the guitar case, and they've got pennies. So.
And how does it physically work then in the wild, as it would be? So when I'm in site or when I'm in let's say BrewDog. So we're here and we're in the studio and we want to tip someone. How would it physically work?
Well, again, it depends on the product.
Right.
For a QR code, it's a case of scanning the QR code, choosing who you want to leave a tip for, and then basically tipping directly, either on Apple Pay, Google Pay, entering your card details. But I think for hospitality, the main product that we've got is our integrated tronc product.
Right, okay.
Essentially automating tronc distribution, service charge, working with the business to essentially alleviate any admin, create 100% transparency for the individuals. So
that's the key word there, transparency, because obviously everyone will know, but tipping has been a political thing actually over the last 5-10 years. Always has been. It's when I was a waiter, it's our income, that's our salary.
Yeah.
So is that a big thing you guys are kind of angling on, the fact that this is transparent and you know where it's going?
I think the transparency is the main driver for the business.
Yeah.
And I think then the operational side is the back end. It's money talks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a very emotive topic, so we need to make sure we get it right for all of our customers, which we do. That's what we pride ourselves on. But yeah, it's extremely political, and I think it has been since cash has started disappearing, because that's then created a void for people and for businesses. It's created a headache.
Yeah.
But even more recently, because of the new tipping legislation, I think it's created a lot of noise in the industry, which it's good for us.
And how au fait are you on the new legislation? I don't know anything, so I'm not testing you at all. But do you know how much will it impact what they're doing in store?
Again, it depends on what the business is doing. So I'm going to sort of reserve judgment to say, look, this is what it's going to do for your business. But, for businesses that are, there's some businesses that we speak to which are doing everything, by the book. And everything's above board and it's compliant.
See where you're going here, right?
Okay. Maybe not. So it really depends on the business's culture and what they want to do for their team and their business as a whole.
Okay, and I suppose at some point did you raise money, or how do you guys, are you self-funded?
So we're self-funded at the moment. We're actually in a funding round at the moment.
Right, okay, okay.
I can't divulge much.
Well, I'm guessing somewhere in your back pocket you've got a deck, right, a pitch deck or something that you have to show people and say, look, this is what you're getting into.
Yeah.
How hard is it to convince people? Because the industry, I think, is thirsty for it, right? The industry wants transparency and tipping and want their guys to get their money straight away.
Yeah.
How does it feel in the business side, in the tech, in the investment side? Are people behind this? Are they backing it?
I think the honest answer is if you get it, you get it. And I think, we sell.
Are you a politician?
No, I mean, look, it depends on who you speak to, but I think, if we can show that we're improving the happiness of your business, we're streamlining operations. And I think once you've actually understood the business model and how it benefits, and also the scope of the opportunity as well, we're in it for the long run. We want to make a big difference in the industry, not just in the UK, but overseas and eventually globally. So I think selling on from an investment perspective, selling on the idea of what the business could be, I think is a really exciting thing.
And where do you see traction? I mean, obviously the hospitality one makes sense because we tip. And I know in the States, it's when I worked over there, it was a big deal. As I said, it was 60% of your salary probably.
Yeah.
But do you see opportunity? You mentioned hairdressers, retail, all that. So are you getting traction there as well?
In hair and beauty as well as hospitality, there are two main markets. I think tourism is probably better suited for places in the US where tipping is, I guess, more prominent. The main focus in the UK are hair and beauty and hospitality mainly. But hair and beauty, we're getting some great traction. I think the feedback is the main thing for us. All the staff love it, the business owners love it because it's taking a headache away from them, it's saving them money, and it's also completely above board. I think a lot of people are scared of what's Mr. Taxman going to come and do? And I think as long as we can provide that reassurance and be that trusted advisor to help them, that's the really.
And is that something you do then? So if I was to take on Grateful and I'm using it, the software, are you guys almost consultative in your approach that you support? The kind of use of the product, well, not hold hands all the time, but really be kind of there to advise what might happen with Tronc or be able to help them through it.
Yeah, massively. I mean, obviously, us within the team, me, myself, I like to stay very close to all of our customers within reason. But we, across the board, across the sales cycle, and once actually they do become a customer, making sure that they're doing everything as best as possible to suit the business. But yeah, I think being that trusted advisor and that consultant for the businesses, especially on such an emotive topic, going back to, how important it is to look after people's money. I think, definitely focusing on that, being that trusted advisor is paramount to us.
It is a big responsibility. And I probably interrupted you at the start, but you were talking about your background. So you come from tech sales. And so the industry, I'm sure you've eaten out, so you know the industry. But what's it like selling into it? Because I always tell people, I think we're difficult to sell to. Are you finding, what's your experience of the industry so far?
I love it, honestly. I love the hospitality industry, and I'm not even just saying that. I think the people that you deal with, I think it's so refreshing. Everyone wants to help each other. Which I think is a really
we're a nice bunch.
100%. I've been welcomed with open arms anyway to the people that I've spoken to.
And is it eye-opening in terms of, I suppose, some of the mess that we have internally? Because I know that tipping is so complicated. It's particularly what you're trying to unpick. Do you see a lot of that when you're going in? So are you seeing kind of, I think you alluded to it before, but you're saying some people have really got their stuff together and they're on top of it, and then you see the total other end of the spectrum.
Yeah. You do see a massive spectrum of what situation businesses are in. Most businesses say, this is the way we do things. Can you do it to fit this? And we'll say, within reason, sometimes yes, sometimes no. If we can't, then we'll build it. But again, some businesses, it's more of the consultative approach. Well, why don't you actually look at fixing this? And then we introduce our partners that we're integrated with and so on and so forth. So it's just a case of assessing the situation whenever you're speaking to a person.
And on partners, I'm guessing you're talking about POS and those kind of people, are you? Or?
Yeah, like POS, Rota. Obviously, because we're new, we're still acquiring partners.
Yeah.
But everyone.
Yeah, you're 12 months, man. You're not quite. Yeah, Deliverect, I think, had 270 partners or something. They've been going a while. So
no, we're not there yet.
It's also expensive, right? To do that straight away. So and how does that go? Because there's not many players in your space, right? 2 or 3. Am I wrong or not? I mean, one in Ireland, maybe. I think I know about.
There's one in Ireland. Obviously, there's a couple in the UK as well. So I think. It's a hot topic, and I think the market is, it's infantile compared to EPOS, compared to Rota.
Yeah, sure.
So, but I think a lot of the businesses are, in essence, doing the same thing or working towards the same cause. And again, looping back to the point of transparency, I think that's the most important.
Yeah, and I presume the market's big enough, right?
Yeah, of course.
For us to serve everyone, Now I imagine people will come up behind you, right, and try and leapfrog you as well along the way. It's what happens with tech normally. And what does it look like from a back office perspective then? So if I'm, can I track all the tips through there? Can I see individuals, what they're getting?
Yeah. So I mean, we try to obviously provide maximum transparency for everyone within reason. So we work with the business owner or the stakeholders. We democratise the tipping process. We bring in individuals from the business as well to see what they want, and we then build out the solution from that. I think it's a good idea to, in theory, say this is a solution we want to get to. And this is what we started off doing as well, creating that perfect solution, then going out to market. And I think it's more important to be able to listen to the customer and then create the solution off the back of that.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of. Hospitality is unique in that it will teach you a lot of stuff, right? And these people will, I think you just said then, we do it this way. Can you do it that way? Which makes me laugh because I reckon all of them would try and make you behave like them.
No one business is the same. The business next door is going to be completely different to the other business. So.
And does the external factor impact you, do you think? I mean, I know you've only been going 12 months in this particular venture, but do the external, the economic stuff going on or all that kind of jazz, because obviously it's affecting the living cost wage, it's affecting the waiters and the waitresses. They're earning less because there's less people eating out potentially, but it doesn't look like that in London this week. But it's by the way, it's chaos down here this week. It's horrific. Do you see that is that affecting you guys when you're going into sales? Do you feel like it's an impact from what's happening outside in the external world?
Definitely, I think from an individual's perspective as well as a byproduct of what's going on in the economy, but also from a business's perspective, it's a case of assessing that. And I think now more than ever, individuals are wanting more transparency about where their money's coming from and where it's going. Which is then what we're leaning on about the transparency piece. I'm a huge advocate of Monzo. Anyone asks me, what's Monzo like?
Also, Tech on Toast is a Monzo user, so
exactly,
there you go.
Exactly. So we're at a stage where we are sort of building upon that, making sure that we've got the best platform to offer our individuals. But I guess the underlying factor is helping them be smarter with the money.
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it?
Knowing where it's coming from and knowing how best to spend it. We're not just a tipping platform. We partner with other businesses to try and add that value to the individuals and also to the businesses as well.
So a bit like financial well-being, almost supporting. I'm not saying you're going that deep.
I won't go that far. But we're working towards that. Obviously, we're a new company. We've got huge ambitions, and I think if we can get to that point where we're not, just a tipping platform and other elements, where we can look after loads and loads of different things, I think is a good thing.
And I think it's right to be a bit more rounded than just, you obviously you have your hero product, but to be rounded like that. And my kids use something called Go Henry.
I've heard of that. Actually,
so Go Henry is like a bank for kids who can't have a bank card. And it's brilliant. It trains them how to spend my money and not theirs. So it's genius. So basically, but they all come out to like the age of 16 of having savings of, anywhere between £500 and £1,000, depending on birthdays, whatever they get over the years. But it just gives them a little starter. And I do think when I ended up in hospitality in 1952, that when I was in there, you don't really have any you don't really understand, right? You just take the money and run. You don't really get it. And I actually really applaud people who are trying to obviously you have a product you're trying to sell. We get that, but I think it's interesting that you actually have an invested interest in what the kids are going to do with that money and how they behave with it, and that fact that they can get it quick, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Tech on Toast is pleased to announce that HRC Hotel, Restaurant and Catering is returning to London on the 25th and the 27th of March 2024 at the XL. Discover game-changing trends, network with industry leaders, and explore cutting-edge solutions that will elevate your business. Mark your calendars for an unforgettable experience at HRC, as this is where the future of hospitality unfolds. Don't miss out. To find out more, check out the website www.hrc.co.uk. Back to the chatting. right?
Yeah, definitely. I think now in today's modern society, everyone wants everything yesterday, don't they? So if we can help be a part of that and facilitate that, then...
Is it the same for, like, I guess it's the same for any customer-facing business? So you mentioned health and beauty, which obviously I frequent a lot.
Yeah, your beard does actually look quite well trimmed at the moment.
Yeah, it's always perfect. But, like, is it the same kind of reaction there? They want their tips straight away off the bat?
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, if we can help facilitate that and help them get the money quicker, it helps them be smarter with the money. You know, if they're getting it daily or weekly rather than at the end of the month, it's helping them be smarter with the money. Whether they use the Grateful account as a savings account to save up to go to Ibiza in the summer or to pay it for the child's birthday present, whatever, it's up to them. It's not our choice. But if we can help them be smarter with that, then.
I think it's brilliant, and it's a tricky subject though, isn't it? Tipping, because it's, as you said, it's quite. What made you pick that over? And I know you explained the experience you had in the restaurant, but when you got into it, did you think, oh, this looks bigger than we thought?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I think obviously it's been a very steep learning curve.
Yeah.
But I think the original idea originated from a customer's perspective. You know, I had such a lack of trust in leaving a tip on a card machine.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure it went to my waiter or the team that had made that experience good for me on that night. So it was about creating the transparency, but I also saw the problem in which there was a lack of transparency for the individuals on the other side.
Yeah.
You know, helping to try solve that problem, speaking to people when I'd just gone into restaurants, cafes. Tell me a little bit more about your tip situation. I'm quite inquisitive, so I'd just go in and ask them.
Yeah.
And the common theme was, don't know. So it's...
Welcome to hospitality, my friend.
No. And
don't know, mate. I've just finished my shift.
And, you know, when you've busted your ass all shift, to be super friendly, super happy, serve the tables, clean the dishes, cook the amazing food, you should get your fair share. You should know that you're getting your fair share of tips. Yeah, no, I think you're dead right. And I think that... Sorry to interrupt you
as
well. That's why we like the name, because... As a customer, you want to be grateful to the
That's
individual.
my very next question. Oh. So, yeah, I mean, because we were just talking off air before we started. Does everybody get the name? Because I got it. But it's quite clever, right? Well, it says it's GRTFL, right?
Yeah, it's grateful without the vowels,
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And why without the vowels? Was it taken?
Well, no, we wanted to be a bit on edge. We wanted to make the name shorter. It stood out. We thought that absolutely everyone would get it. I mean, most people get it, don't get me wrong, but there's the odd person which doesn't get it initially.
Most people think I'm a chef doing tech on toast, so don't worry about it. Yes. Literally like, so you sell bread? I'm like, no, I don't sell bread. But I think that grateful part of it is really resonates, right? Because that's actually what it's about.
Yeah, it's multifaceted and it's cyclical. You know, as a customer, you're grateful to the staff.
Yeah.
The business is grateful to the staff for providing a good job. The staff are grateful for the employment. The employer is grateful for the service. The employer is grateful to the customer. That's what we...
I think it's a really nice term. I just think it's a nice way of encapsulating what we do here, you know, what we do in hospitality, that the fact that we are grateful, because I think sometimes we used to use it internally in a restaurant. If you work with a load of team, you should be grateful that actually we have, you know, sometimes when the guys are tired or it's been a long day, things aren't working very well, you just be grateful that these customers are coming in, because basically if they don't, we have a challenging day ahead of us,
exactly.
You know, and a challenging time ahead of us. So I think that grateful part is really cool, right? It makes it. And you mentioned globally. I'm not even going to get you into this too much, but you know, obviously you have a plan, you have a roadmap, you're kind of looking down the road of where you want to go. Is that a genuine, like, something on the horizon that you're looking at?
100%. Yeah, 100%. I mean, we are laser focused on the UK at the moment.
Yeah.
Then the plan is to sort of dip our toe in the water in other regions. And, you know, everyone that we speak to, and we believe as well that we will be a global business. And we believe that the reach...
You have to, right? Has to start with you. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. We believe that there's so much opportunity to provide the different services to the different industries, the different geographies, the different people. So it's obviously just such an exciting journey. But for the time being, it's just focused on the UK.
And about the journey, because is this your first foray into your own business, or when you were tech sales, you were working for an employer, I presume, or?
Yeah, I was working for an employer before.
Right.
My two partners, they've got experience in sort of building and selling tech codes as well, which has helped.
So you're learning lots?
I'm learning lots, yeah. Yeah, it's good.
I can imagine, because obviously running your own business is
long
something.
Hours.
Yeah, well, yeah, I bet. And a lot of pressure, right?
Yeah.
But I imagine, I wish I'd started something when I was younger, right? So I wish I'd done my own business when I was younger, because you have the energy for it and you can kind of go after it, kind of thing. I suppose, what's your biggest lesson from having your own startup? You're 12 months in. I mean, as I said, still very young.
Yeah.
What's your biggest lesson so far?
I think if you live by, you get out what you put in, then I think that's the most important thing for me, really. And I think everyone that's working on the project, on the business, is so passionate about what we could achieve and what we're doing. And I think if you look back at where we were 3 months ago, 6 months ago, it's always very easy to criticise where you are. But if you look back and look at how much progress you've made, then you can't steer too far wrong. But if you're working with a hard-working team that you all like what you're doing, you all get on with each other, you end up working with your friends, and I think it's
huge. Huge.
It's not doing work, is it?
No, and I think that it's not about it's not about the journey. It's where you've come from. Also, I can't remember what the phrase is, but you do. It's really interesting.
I'm trying to think about it, isn't it? You got me thinking.
But you look back, and it is like it's funny, and it's so. I think I can't remember. Someone said to me, if you look at the first iteration of something you've built. Yeah. You kind of almost laugh at it, right? When you go a year down the line, because it's just like, my God, were we really going to sell that?
Yeah.
But then you look at what you've got now, you're like, wow, that's a great, it's looking great. Is it the same for you guys?
Yeah, no,
Are you now picturing the first product you made?
Yeah, that's why I started laughing, actually. Yeah, because we looked at it not long ago, and you actually look at where it is now versus where it was.
Yeah.
It's laughable, but obviously you've got to start somewhere, don't you?
No, I think you have to, and I think it keeps you in check, right? And I think it tells you, because you need validation sometimes to know actually that I've started here and I'm getting there.
Yeah.
And if you're just on the mouse wheel, it's very hard to see what you've done. So no, I appreciate it. And what about you? You must have. I know you're working hard.
Yeah.
But did you get days off? Got family? What are you doing in Leeds?
Working, obviously. I see my friends. Used to play a lot of rugby.
Yeah. Well, if you can't see him, he looks like a rugby lad. Well, were you playing rugby union or league? You're up in Yorkshire.
Union. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So played union.
You didn't conform to league then?
No, I've actually never played rugby league.
Really?
Yeah, I've always wanted to, but I've never played it.
You got to have thighs the size of this podcast studio. Apparently, it's really rugby league.
My thighs, they're all
I'm on my way.
Yeah. But
so you're still playing sport now, or are you?
No. No, but I mean, look, in all honesty, I go to the gym before work. Yeah. I believe in having a routine, getting up, being disciplined. And I think especially in such early stage of the business, making sure that you're taking baby steps to making sure that you're getting towards the end goal is important. But I used to go out a lot more, but I'm now more focused on the business, which I think is important. But I still like to do things here and there.
And how many founders are there? 3 of you, did you say?
Yeah, there's 3 of us.
And I presume one's a techie, one's a...
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Damien.
And they
guy.
Really do normally they're not allowed out though, yeah? You're the one that gets rolled out, are you?
No, Damien's special. He's multifaceted. But no, we get on really well. He's a very good person to have.
And fast forward 12 months, where do we think you're going to be?
It's difficult to say. We're just aiming for the stars as time goes on. So it's we'd like to think we've got a very, very strong hold in the UK. Then we've got and dipped our toes in the water in other areas, and then sort of building that out. We've got a couple of products that we're working on, which I can't divulge on today. But
that's not fair.
Yeah. I'm a politician after all.
Yeah, you are actually. Yeah, there you go. And what's it like in the regions? I'm interested because obviously a lot of the guys come down here, build their office here, work out of London, and kind of get London and then go elsewhere. But I suppose you might have a different. Yoello, who are based in Cardiff, who started off as pay at table with their open banking.
Yeah.
They Sina when he first, and you remind me of Sina a little bit. Sina when he first started Yoello really wanted to own Cardiff. That was his strategy before he went anywhere else, which was quite unique. Is it a similar approach for you guys? Being up, I presume, because it's on your doorstep, you're working with Leeds.
Yeah, I mean, we work with businesses in Leeds, but we haven't, I guess, pigeonholed ourselves to a certain geography. I think, if we're pigeonholing anything, it's the UK really, just for, I guess, simplicity. But we've got businesses in London, down in Bournemouth, Leeds, Manchester.
Oh, so you've got a good regional coverage.
Yeah, and I don't think we plan on pigeonholing anytime soon. I think if we just grow throughout the UK, because it's not like it's a service where you need to technically be in person.
No, I was going to say, because scaling it is quite rapid, right? Obviously, as you get more customers.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you don't need to apply too much labour or payroll to it from your side.
No, I mean it's more along the consultative side. Some of our products like the QR code. We'd like to think it's plug and play, or we want to get it to the point where it's plug and play.
Yeah.
The more integrated solutions, we like to. I'm a big fan of seeing the whites of people's eyes and speaking to people in person. That's where you really build up relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is something that I've found that's nicer, since we've left COVID.
Yes.
So I think making the effort to go see people, building those relations. Having a bit of a drink, having a bit of lunch, I think is good. But I think that's the only thing that would technically, if anything, limit us to geography-wise. But the train from Leeds to London is not that bad.
Yeah,
it's good.
I got the train down from Cardiff yesterday. Oh my God. 4 hours later, swear to God, with a load of kids. I moved in first class because I thought I'm just going to go and do some work.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying for it. I'm going to sit here, I don't care. You're late. You can just deal with
Criminal.
it. Yeah. And then all the kids thought, oh yeah, we'll come through as well. So it was literally, I don't know if you ever got a plane to Orlando in the summer holidays. To Florida.
A long time ago, did you?
But the kids all around you it's like we used to call it the Buck and Spade Brigade when we worked at Hard Rock, but it was like that yesterday on the train. It was carnage. So train people, sort it out. Anyway, look, really interesting talking to you. You guys are on the marketplace on Tech on Toast.
Yeah.
And
How long has it been now?
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Well, we built the marketplace back. It's not younger than you actually.
Yeah.
Not you, but younger than Grateful. So it's probably November time last year we got it built. But you guys joined January, February. Not sure. We sat in the Southwark office of Atolo and spoke about it. But yeah, they can find you there. What's the website address? Is it grateful.com?
Yeah, grateful.com. That's where you can find us. It's just Grateful on all the social channels, and that's where you can find us as well. So
Okay, and then are you doing any of the trade shows? You've got all the trade shows coming up. You're going to be hanging around.
we've got Restaurant Bar and Tech Expo.
Oh, have you got a
October.
stand?
Yeah, we do have a stand.
Ah,
yeah.
very nice. We'll
We're
come
in
and
the
check you
process
out.
of getting that sorted. So, obviously anyone listening, it'd be a pleasure to speak to you all. So
Yeah, no, I'm sure people will be buzzing around. We're also there, and I think we'll make sure we send people your way. That'd be great.
Vice versa.
And I suppose, and you're based up in Leeds, but people they can find you on LinkedIn.
Yeah, just obviously my name on LinkedIn. I'm becoming more active.
Yeah, it's a thing. You want to be in hospitality, you've got to
I know.
obsess with LinkedIn. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So, but that's great. Mason, people will find you. It's Mason Potter.
Yeah.
You can go and find him. And that's great. Thank you very much, mate. And we will come and check you out soon. And we'll see you at the Bar and Tech Show.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers.